Mahendra Singh ji, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Right, sir. Hello.
And even this young fellow, if he has got any questions, feel free to ask me. I am here to share my experiences with you, and you can speak to me in Hindi or in English. Choice is yours. Hi Harsha, how are you?
I'm good. Great going.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yes.
I guess let's start. It's already 11:07.
Yeah.
If the participants enter as and when, we will begin. Okay. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes.
On behalf of Nature Walk Charitable Trust Pune, I, Harshada Abhyankar, along with my entire team, welcome you all to this third session of Wildlife Zoom webinars. Today, we have a very, very special personality with us, world-renowned wildlife photographer and also wildlife filmmaker, Mr. Rajesh Bedi. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, I would just take 2 minutes to tell about Nature Walk. Nature Walk Charitable Trust has been active in Pune for last 20 years. And on 5th June, we completed 20 years of our environment service. And we have been taking various activities, film screenings, talk shows, lecture series, slideshows for people, urban people, wherein we try to promote wildlife education and environmental awareness. And if you all are very interested in further activities, or if at all you are interested in wanting to know more about wildlife, I am putting up all the links to our different Instagram, Facebook, and a website, and also email, and a link to our wildlife forum that has been created on WhatsApp in your chat box. Kindly feel free to join it so that everyone would be able to know more about wildlife. Without any further ado, I would move on to today's session. We have Mr. Rajesh Bedi directly from Delhi. Just to introduce Sir in few lines, actually Sir doesn't need any introduction, but as a formal way, I would like to introduce him and then we move to his talk and a slideshow. So Sir was born in the lap of nature in Himalayan foothills. As we all know, he has photographed wildlife all throughout India and many other parts of the world as well. But he remarks Rajasthan as one of his favorite destinations, and the wildlife photography and cinematography which he did using the hot air balloon with his brother, Mr. Naresh Bedi, is famous all over the world. So Sir has also made very visually stunning books which are called as Indian Wildlife and the much acclaimed India's Wild Wonders. The very much close to his heart project is about the Asiatic elephants, and a comfortable book related to elephants is on its way. This is Sir's upcoming project, and today he would be talking to us about these gentle giants. Sir has worked with many world famous broadcasters like BBC, National Geographic. His photographs have been published in many magazines like National Geographic, Life, Geo, and Audubon Society book. Sir's images were also taken by Government of India to publish a postal stamp series on flora and fauna of India. Not only in wildlife, Sir has done his photography and shown magic in field of religion, culture, and also has 2 comfortable books to his name. One is Sadhus, the holy men, and the second is Sadhus, the seekers of salvation, which present the rare vignettes of the world of Sadhvis, that are female sadhus, and the secret paths of Aghoris. BBC television, Discovery Channel, everywhere Sir's work has been showcased and portrayed. Sir has conducted one-man exhibitions all over the country and also in countries like France. To name a few awards, he has been acclaimed Lifetime Photography Award from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting by the Government of India in 2012, BBC Wildlife Photographer of the Year in the year 1986, Emmy nomination for a film on child prostitution. Sir also have been given the well-known Green Oscar, which is also known as the Panda Award. Currently, he is working on something very interesting. One, like I mentioned, Indian elephants. And the second is Babarnama, wherein a photographic account of present-day wildlife scenario in comparison with hunting scenes in the miniature paintings of Babarnama memoirs of Babar from 1483 to 1530. So, sir, this is all about Mr. Rajesh Bedi, and now we would like to listen from you. And like we used to say in one-to-one program, the stage is all yours. I would like to say now the entire screen is yours. We are eagerly waiting to listen to you. Thank you.
Uh, I would like to welcome everyone on this show. Uh, there is so much to talk about various things which I've been doing in the last 50 years, right from people to snakes, wildlife, tribals and Andamans, uh, Rajasthan. But today, I think our topic is why I do have a special corner for Indian elephants. I would like to begin with my early age when I was 9 years old. I used to travel with my father and my brother, elder brother, to Corbett and near Haridwar. Uh, and those days, things were very difficult. The transportation was almost nil. We used to go on trucks going to Dhikala to collect timber. So those were the days when this is how we used to travel to and to see wildlife, to be with the nature. So this is how the upbringing of me and my brother by father. And those days to see the tiger was almost impossible, especially in Corbett, because the forests were virgin. There were very few tourists. Tigers were very shy. There were very few tourists going inside the park. And that way, we were very lucky. So the most common thing which guards used to talk, used to share, or what people used to see were elephants, and elephants in big numbers. When I say big numbers, is as many as 150, 200 in one herd. So obviously, as a young boy, what I used to see or encounter wild elephants so often, there was a special space was created. And those days, things were easy. You could take a guide, you could take a gunman. Then I say guide is a forest guard with a small stick, and you will plan your program in the evening, and some parathas at night the guard will make, or the dhaba owner will make with some dry alus, and that used to be our breakfast and lunch, and we will walk for the destination. One day, the four of us, we started going towards a area called Pater Pani, quite far from Dhikala. And while walking, you are constantly listening calls of birds, animals, and this guard will uh, keep on telling you the names of the birds, names of the animal calls, and you also look on road, the Kacha road, various say, pug marks or say footprints. And our aim was one to see elephants in that area. So after walking for a while, it was late morning, and we spotted footprints. And then a guard said, कि इसमें बड़े हाथी भी हैं, and it's a big group, and there's a छोटा बच्चा भी है इसमें. All calves are also there, and this is how you learn. The size of the footprint, if it's big, that means it's a big animal. If the size of the footprint is small, it's a small baby. If it's really tiny, it's a very young one. And the number of footprints you see, you can guess how many elephants will be there in a group. But anyway, this is again, this is how you learn. You don't have to learn from a book. This is going in the forest and having first-hand information. And then then you walk further, you see cow dung, and cow dung you could see this is fresh, and you can see the steam coming out. That means the elephants have just left this fresh cow dung. And then so looking at the dung size again, one can estimate, what one can imagine the size of the group. And then the guard spotted the first elephant from behind. They were going towards a jungle side, and we kept on following. And then you see them. Then you don't see elephants, and there was a depression. There was like a bowl. So they went into that bowl, and we slowly, cautiously just went up, and you see the elephants started standing in a small circle. Their heads were out and the bodies were inside, and we took our position. I was behind. I was very, very scared to go close to see what's going on. And brain fever bird was making a lot of calls, and very, very hot. And then you see one calf going down on the ground, flat on the ground. The second one, the third one, all the young calves slowly lie down. And that's the time my father called me, like that. He waved, he said, come, come, come. So I was again a bit hesitant to go near it. But finally I went and I saw the whole scene. And my brother also took some pictures. My father had a camera. And then, suddenly you hear alarm calls of elephants coming from that particular area. So I ran back and stood maybe 10, 15 feet away. I was the first to run. And we could figure out the reason. And the reason was suddenly the wind condition changed. The wind condition from us started flowing towards the elephants. And they could sense that there are some human beings around. So there was a commotion, and I was very scared. And my father and my brother and the guide slowly started retrieving from that slope, and we came back. So that was the first encounter, real encounter with the wild elephant. And since then, I always felt that how wonderful are these animals, how they sleep, the young ones, how they are being guarded by mothers and young say tuskers. So if they are undisturbed, they can sleep for hours. When I say hours, means 2-3 hours, and that's a daily routine. The elephant, just if Anuj can be kind enough to show picture number 4, that will show you the.
Yes, sir. We'll go on picture number 4.
Yeah, 4. This is the site to which I am.
Just hold on for a moment.
Right.
Just share the screen.
See, this is what I am. I've been telling you the story. You see the young one right in the front, the other one right behind, right? So this is how they sleep. And I think those days when I'm talking about more than 50 years back. And those were the days when color films were very expensive and my father could not afford to buy color films. So we were dependent on films which are available in the market. So those were the days when we used to do only black and white. Now, I will request Anush to screen picture number 1, please.
Yeah, 1 moment.
Take your time. Now, when I say 50 years, it's not that constantly I've been in the forest for 50 years. I go, come back, I make trips and I come back. A picture like this, I've been dreaming almost, I would say, 50 years that this is the kind of uh, uh, kind of a background where you have say light coming from behind, early morning sun, and you see the elephant, somewhere in the so right in the middle. So it's it's purely luck, nothing else. And here, sometimes I do believe that there is always luck in say photography. And this is a site, and this is a picture. I think is very, very hard to find, and it's such a romantic picture. It gives you a feeling of early morning and how does the forest look like, and the elephant so look like an angel, right in the middle. So such pictures are once in a lifetime. You can see the foliage, you can see the sal forest, tall sal forest which we like. Second picture, the elephants normally love places where you have streams, you have water bodies, you have a lot of open spaces, grasslands, you have dense forest. So what happens is they leave in the morning, they will come out from the forest, go back into the open area, feed for a couple of hours, and as the sun gets hotter, they will start coming back. They'll come to the river or to the water body, drink, swim. They will cool them off, and they will follow the leader. And they will walk or they will cross the river almost from the same spot. Sometimes they do change. I'm not saying that they cannot take a different route, but normally the same route. And then they will go right deep into the forest, and they have their favorite sleeping places where they'll find a big tree, a bit of flat ground, and they will sleep undisturbed for hours. And again in the evening, they will come out from the forest, cross the river, drink the water first, bathe, and then leave, sorry, again leave for grazing. So that's normal routine. And here is the picture, which is the ideal habitat for an elephant. You have the Shivalik Hills at the back and Ramganga River. This is from the Corbett. And this is, again, you have to be there early morning and you have to wait. And sometimes they come in a group, so you don't see the line, the one after another, the gap between elephants. And such pictures make interesting picture when they have some gaps, you know, in the group. Now, Anuj, can we go on to the third picture? See, this is again a very classic shot. I would say the showing the kind of ecology they like, and even the light can't penetrate the ground. It's so thick, this is again one of those situations. You wait, you see the elephant going inside the forest. You just wait. You sometimes don't get pictures. You are just waiting, and suddenly you see the elephant goes inside, and there's the sunlight falling on him, and he turns around towards you, and this is what you click, and this is a very beautiful shot to show, and your animal is also having say prominence, and so is the trees and leaves. It gives such a good impact. Now we are going on picture number 5. Next one. Now see, this is a picture I'm talking when I was young. This is right next to Tikala. That's my brother, that's my father, and that's me. I'm always behind. I'm very scared of elephants. Okay, and the next one, please. Now, elephants do need big grasslands. They need a lot of food. One elephant may need around 150 kg of food every day. So most of the time you'll find them grazing, all the time feeding. They'll stop, they will pluck the bunch of grass. If there is a dirt, if there is a mud, they will bang against their foot, and they keep on eating. And finding such big herds these days are getting difficult. As I told you earlier, a few years back, you could see big herds. And the next one, please. Not this one. Number 6. So I'm sorry. Number 6. Yes, just before that, please. इससे पहले वाली पिक्चर देखेंगे. Oh, there's one picture missing. Anyway, we go on to number 8. Number 8, please. No, it's just one back, one back.
This one?
This one. Yeah, this one, please.
Yeah.
Now, this is the picture. This is whenever I used to cross from this area, I used to dream that I should have elephants on this small hillock on the ridge. But most of the time I was unlucky because the herd will come from some other side, and you don't get what you think about it. And one day I saw this herd right right next to the forest, and they were grazing, and I was in two minds whether they will head for the water body or they are going to go inside. But then suddenly the leader decided to head for water, and the herd started walking, and I was the only one that day on this side in Corbett. So I drove all the way and parked my jeep under this depression and keep praying that the elephant should come from this hillock, from this bulge. And what you see is a heavy, thick cloud. And I said, oh, आज तो काम नहीं होगा, तो बादल आ गए. It's too dark to make a picture. But I was ready. I was looking through the camera. And they were approaching, so there are hundreds of shots. They're coming, you see their heads, you see their legs, and so on and so forth. And then when they were about to reach to this round thing, suddenly there was a ray of light. So following on elephants and also slightly at the back of the grassland. And the forest was dark because there was no sun, the sky was dark. And this was, one of those dreamy shot any wildlife photographer can think the perfect light condition. One thing I would like to share here is for elephants, light is the most important thing. And why? The elephant color is gray-black. There's no color as such like you have as a tiger or deer or so many other animals. If it's too bright and you expose for elephants, the backdrop will burn, the grasses will burn. So either this early morning lights or late evening lights or cloudy day. Not heavy cloudy day, but you have clouds and it's cloudy bright. That's the ideal light condition for elephants. And this is one of my favorite. And okay, let's go on to the next one, please. Now here, I have always missed to photograph the birth of an elephant calf. Africa is very different because everything is open, the animals are not scared, they're hardy, thick jungles, everything is happening, all the activity is right and open. But in the Indian forest, everything is happening. Most of the things are inside the jungle. But here you see is the herd is all eager to see a newborn calf. And that's why you don't see the calf, you don't see actual birth. But the next one, the next picture I share with you is the newly born. And is the color of the body is pinkish. Eyes are not stable, he's not stable, he's just moving, die by, girega. Eyes are also red. To get these kind of pictures, because the mothers, the elephants, the group, always try and keep the calf hiding, always in their legs, always they will find and covering. The moment you are about to click, you'll find a leg coming or the trunk is blocking. So these kind of pictures are again very rare to get, and that too in a posture where you feel so pleased with the frame that is so nice. As you can see, two legs and the trunk on top covering the upper portion makes a very nice compact frame. And you see the hair, when they are born, their hair are quite visible. They're hairy calves. Now the next one. You have any questions, Anuj or anyone? Please do ask me.
Sir, we would like to, because we have a lot of veteran photographers and some amateur photographers who are watching this. So what kind of equipment typically have you used for maybe this picture or generally, and maybe how far you shoot it from, since they are elephants, although they are gentle giants, but they are giants. So how do you plan about photographing this kind of images? I mean, particularly elephants. So
See, my thinking and my principle is slightly different from many wildlife photographers. I think if you keep more distance, animal is more comfortable. He can behave the way he wants to behave. And keeping a distance means the subject is far from you. So how to bring the subject close to you is using very long lens. So I normally use a 800 millimeter. So that keeps a distance, a comfortable distance between animal and me. And yet animal are so close to me because of the technology, because of the equipment. And I can observe things which many photographers completely miss out. So this is one of those situations where I had used 800 millimeter to capture this shot. So there is no magic. It's just how you see things. So if you ask any young photographer or even professional photographer, a lot of photographers may feel a bit shocked that this photographer uses 800 millimeter for elephants. The elephants are so big. Why do you need such long lenses to photograph? So I'm going to share some more pictures that will give you an idea what I'm trying to emphasize or trying to show you. Let's see the next one. See, this is how touchy is this frame. The aunt and the mother, the newly born, the mother and the aunts, they will keep coming to the calf. They will keep smelling it, keep उसको छूते रहेंगे. They probably try and sense the health of the calf, and they want to reassure the calf that you are safe. We are here now. This is again the and it's black and white. This was shot in South India, and this it reflects the say motherhood so well, the relationship between calf and the mother, and three trunks in a very artistic, like a snake coiling up. So this is again with a long lens. Now, next one, please. Now this is again shot with a 800 millimeter. And this is a very interesting pictures. Elephants normally give birth to one calf, but there are cases when you have twins. And here, mother and the aunt is on the right hand side, and they're just playing with calf. They're trying to push the calf from two sides, and this is again I would say very rare sight to get this kind of a composition. And using a long lens, your focus is right on the elephant. Its backdrop is out of focus. You your eye straight away goes to the animal to observe the activity. You are not, your eyes are not looking for anything else. Is the subject is so catchy, the photograph is so catchy, and that is the purpose. That is the whole purpose of a wildlife photographer. What he's trying to show, he should be able to share that. Okay, any more question in between?
You can, yeah, please share my question with him. Can you just type here the question?
Sorry?
No.
Somebody's, yeah, for the audience, somebody is writing in the chat box. Rajesh sir, I hope to see one of your ballooning with Bedi brother pictures. Had a great experience being with you in that expedition.
Okay. He went with me on the balloon?
Yes,
is that right?
Jason Menezes.
Okay, okay. See, this is again it was the most challenging, and initially everybody, all our friends thought, what a laughable thought of going and shooting wildlife from hot air balloons. It took a bit of time, and we were extremely lucky to get permission from various states to fly on a hot air balloon, and to find someone who could, who was ready to take us on a hot air balloon in these forests, because flying over the forest is very challenging, and it's very hard to explain the experience, the joy, the experience you get flying over forests, seeing animals from above. Altogether, very different perspective of animals, what you see. But sometimes the landing can be very rough, and you can get hurt yourself, you can break your cameras. So ballooning was a most memorable experience, and we did 13-part half-an-hour programs for Doordarshan, and they have telecasted, I don't know, hundreds of times they have shown those films. The player is shooting next to you. What is it, sir?
Sir, Mr. Mohan Thomas has written, I had the privilege of shooting next to you once in Dikala. Sir, he has also joined us.
Okay.
And there is one question. So earlier in the talk, you said that you saw some herd up to 100, 150 elephants. Why do we not see this behavior in African elephants?
I have not traveled much in Africa, and maybe because the herd size also depends on the availability of food. If you have less food, you'll find small herds and they'll be scattered. But I'm not an authority. I cannot authoritatively comment on African elephants. In Africa, you see small herds, but not big ones. Thomas has traveled in Africa, I believe. He should be the right person to answer. Anyway, yeah.
Sir, can you tell us a bit about your emotional attachment with the elephants?
Wow. For me, going to forest, and if I don't smell elephant, if I don't see any signs of elephants, I think my day is gone, is totally wasted. I see the elephants, I get lost. And I get lost between elephants and my camera. And sometimes I see their activity, they're bathing or they're playing. I sometimes completely lost, even I fail to click. So For me, elephants are like human beings. They are like, I would say, they are holy men of the forest. They don't kill anyone. They don't kill animals. They live in forest. They meditate in the forest. They bathe in fresh water. They put a lot of ash in, like sadhus. When I say ash, is the fine dust out after they finish bathing, and the color gets transformed into a different one, like a yogi. And they don't bother, and they don't want to graze near any animal, whether it's a spotted deer or a sambar or a wild boar. They want to be among themselves and feed. So my emotions, I am emotionally charged. Emotionally, I would say the elephants have blackmailed me. I love so much. Without elephants, there is no wildlife anywhere in the world, or especially in India. Without elephants, you don't see the future of man and the jungles. Can we go on to the next picture, please? Yeah, here you see three mothers and a young female with three young calves. They are heading for the water body. And this kind of a picture you can only get from a distance with a long lens, because they are fearless. They are not scared of you. And they are walking the way they behave in the nature. That's why the calves are exposed to your camera. So, and even the angle wise, they're slightly on a height. And I'm quite low in my Jeep. So this is again one of those 800 magic, and the grasses are all out of focus. So the whole focus is on, uh, you know, around elephants. Next, please. Yeah, this is once they are not scared in the sense you are there and no jeeps are around, people have left, or people are mainly looking for tiger all the time, and they feel, uh, who's this man who's only thinking about elephants? But anyway, this is what you see, what you witness, that this is the play. This is how they play. They will try and climb on the other one, and see the expression. The one on the ground is trying to raise his head, and don't do this. Now we'll see the next one, please. This is when they are growing. These are two tuskers, and this is how they play. Uh, you know, he's holding his tail and trying to, trying to stop this tusker in the front. And this is also, it's a process by which they learn the assess their strength, their power, how strong they are. So it's so interesting, holding their ear or holding up from the tail. Next one. This is again the part of. This is not the fight. This is again. It's a kind of a play, and try and push each other, and the weaker one will step back a few steps, and this is. But this is the nice composition. You see the curled and their lips almost touching. And again, the backdrop is out of focus. The whole view is very clear. Next one. Now this is the most beautiful picture. This is again, you wait, you're the winner. If you don't wait, you don't get this kind of pictures. The mother is standing, enjoying the play of this 4 young calf. The calf at the back with the trunks engaged. They're slightly older, and the 2 of them in the front are the younger ones, and the composition wise, 5 animals in one frame, and is so compact and gives you each and every detail that they have just come out from the water and splashing the mud, and mud is almost dried up. And this is what they would like to do. Next one. Arun was asking, the black spot is still, the mud is fresh, it's not dried up. See, this is a very interesting pictures in a way that the elephants in the evening after a swim and drinking water, they have just come out from the water, and these 2 young ones, their color looks a bit artificial when you see the picture, that why the color is golden. This is, I have not done anything in Photoshop. This is the color of the mud of that particular spot where they rolled. So, and it's still wet. So this is how the color gives sometimes a very different feel. And see the golden light, falling on all the females, and they are just waiting, giving them time to play around, and that's it, I think. Next one. Now this is again one of my favorite picture, where you see, I see the calf lying down is like say living Ganesh. When I say living Ganesh, if you see the whole expression, the face shape of the animal, and the angle of the camera makes it to look like a Ganesh. He's completely relaxed, and the older calves are just on guard. They're just giving him time to rest. Normally, they don't sleep in open. They may lie down because they would like to play around. When again, if there is no danger, then they are relaxed. They just lie down, roll down. They'll do all these things. And this is one of my favorite picture, where I say, I sometimes write this as a living Ganesh. There was a question about elephants in South India, and elephants and Corbett. I have not experienced much in South India, but to me, the elephant size in South India, the females are slightly smaller. This is what I feel, and but some of the tusks, what you see in various temples, are huge. They're massive. In Kamini, sometimes you see the really huge built elephants. And when I used to travel in the Mudumulai and Bandipur, those days poaching was very common, and they were very, very aggressive. The moment they will hear the sound of the jeep, they will come and charge. Once we were just literally saved by a few inches from the charging elephant in Bandipur. Next one, please. Now here is as I told you, that the elephants need water. They cannot survive without water. And they may travel for hours. They may travel few kilometers to reach to a water body. And when they see the water body, you see the body line changes. They start walking faster, and there is a different. Their bodies are charged, and they hear what is happening. Is mother and the aunt is just entered the muddy area, and you can see the body on their bodies. You see it's a bit of mud. Without putting mud or water, entering the water is almost impossible. The moment they will reach to the water, they will either drink or throw or have one or two splash. And now she is heading for deep waters. And see, both the calves are literally enjoying, and they're like restless. Two of them completely, their bodies covered with mud. Next one, please. Now here you see the color, as I was mentioning to you. This is the herd has just finished mud bath, and the size of the mud area was very small. And this calf is trying to come out, and then they will go and have, they will have a lot of dust on their bodies to keep all the mosquitoes and insects bites away. And this is the normal practice the elephants do. And also, I think the on this wet body, dust also helps to keep their body cool. Yeah. Next one. Now here, this is the elephant I was following for few hours, and this tusker was in must. I will explain about the must later on, but here I would like to explain a bit of the things they do in water. As soon as they will enter the water body, and some places they know where is the deep water, so they will just go there, put their head first, splash a lot of water, and again, when they are undisturbed, they will raise their head towards the sky and shake right and left, and keep the head up for some time. And they will also throw water in between. And this is perhaps to reduce the heaviness in their head. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, here I was explaining you the elephants throw water all over. And this is it's trying to throw the water uh, on the base of the tusk to clean any dust or I won't say dust, any dirt stuck or something. Or maybe he likes to throw the water with pressure, and maybe he's enjoying. Can I come on the screen, please? Anuj? Okay.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Just a minute.
No problem, no problem. Any question?
Yeah.
So, I was explaining about this. They love water, and see, they need, because their body structure is so big, and they need about 80 gallons of water in a day. Without water, they cannot survive. And this is what is the problem we are facing in many parks where the water is scarce. There is not enough water uh, left in the forest. And even the artificial water holes are not very well managed. I'm sorry to say that, not very well managed. But there are difficulties. Now, I've been mentioning that I use a lot of big lenses, 800 millimeter or 600 big lenses. But at times you do feel that there is a need to use a smaller focal length. And why you need? Because you want to make a point. You want to show something. You want to share with your viewers that in what kind of environment, when we talk about a water body in the forest area. So the next picture, we are going on to the next picture.
Sir, there is one question.
Please.
Rather, there are many questions, but
I'm
Rajesh,
talking too
sir,
much.
does elephant use their tusk to mine salt or anything from ground? How they use tusk? Any picture of that?
I, in fact, had kept it a picture, but unfortunately, because of the number were going high, so I kept it out. But I have a picture where they have their favorite salt licks. They'll go there, and if the soil is not soft enough, so they will use the tusk and so take out the salty material or the mud from that, and they'll keep eating that. I have a record and a very beautiful record, but unfortunately, I won't be sharing that picture.
Sir, one more question from Mr. Mohan Thomas, and then we'll again go back to the slides. Sir, any idea from where does the elephant migration start to Corbett?
See, this they go right up to, say, Lansdowne area and Kotdwar area. The elephants, people have recorded that going from Lansdowne area to in between, they cross the forest and then they reach say Corbett, and they in fact the people are still trying to find out the exact migration route, but this is the normal, which I know that this is where they spend a lot of time in the Lansdowne area, and they also come to Rajaji, and then they travel back. And some elephants do stay in Rajaji, and most of the other animals go into that area, Kalagad and that area.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll again go back to the slides. Give me a second.
Now this is, I was talking to you that we sometimes use a smaller focal length. Here you see the whole landscape. And see what is happening these days. A lot of youngsters take a picture, a very tiny animal, and on Facebook they say, "Wow, it's excellent, it's superb." But my concept is slightly different. When I want to show the animal in the landscape. See, here you have importance of the animals as well. You see the elephants quite clearly. You see a few elephants in the water. You have some elephants uh, close to the edge. And you see the range of Shivalik Hills, you see the grassland. So this is an environmental shot, keeping the animals' figure still quite visible. Next one. Now this is a very interesting picture from slightly from a top angle. I was on a cliff and I saw this fellow coming towards the water, and you see the various shades of color. The mud right in front, you see mud. The color of waves on the right hand side is different. On the left hand side is different, and behind the elephant is, and it's calm water. That this picture shows that the elephant is not in a hurry. He's taking his own time. He's walking, coming towards me, and probably he could figure out that I'm there. So I just waited and waited, and this is a shot with a wide angle, and this is where the subject will speak. Subject will let you know what lens you require. It's not that you have all the lenses and you have to use all the lenses. This is subject will demand that, okay, this is the lenses ideal for this. And this fellow then walking, splashing water, come close to the cliff, and almost 90-degree from my view, I cannot see. I could only see the tail, and then he's scratching his back, and slowly just he goes away. He went away from the scene. Next one. This is a very interesting shot. This is where a female elephant is playing with a young calf, and they were just going up and down, and my eye was stuck on the lens again with the 800 millimeter, and suddenly I see the 1 foot coming and coming up on this young elephant calf calf body, and she was putting pressure to drown him, and it kept on doing and kept on doing one after another. And here you see the beautiful details of the foot and the nails, and on the right hand side the eye, there is fresh sand stuck, and this is again very so late in the evening. So they play a lot. They play a lot in the water. Next one. Yeah, this is again, sometimes they chase each other and they know the area, they will run, splash the water, and when they run, their tails will go up, and they will sometimes also make a lot of noise. Next one, please. And this is a very interesting picture. This is, many photographers might have noticed that young calf keep putting their tongues, their trunks inside the mother mouth. Sometimes just close to the mouth, and this is where this picture shows the mother was drinking water, and he is trying to drink the water from as a mother's mouth. Whatever as water is spilling out. So this was, for me it was very funny. But this is what is elephants do, and this is again, if you concentrate, if you're serious, you're bound to get this kind of observation on your pictures. Next one. Anuj, once I talk about this picture, I would like to be on the screen, right? I would like to say a few words on this. This is
Sure, sir. Right, sir.
this is a very rare, I would say, rare phenomena. When the elephants are matured, when they're ready to mate, when they're old enough, there is a there is a slit near the eye and the ear. It's a horizontal slit, and there is a fluid, brownish black color fluid starts coming out. Can I come on the screen, please, Anuj?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
No,
one more.
I would like to come on the screen before
sir.
we
Yes, sir.
go on to the second. Yeah, this is fine. Now, yeah, here, the, between the ear and the eye, there is a slit, small slit. And from there, what you see is a bit of brownish black fluid starts flowing. When I say starts flowing, one day you'll see is just a couple of centimeters, then keep on increasing the length, and a stage will come when it will start flowing down, it will drip. And there's a very peculiar smell. And animals, the tusker is, they say the tusker is in mad state. He's gone mad. He is crazy. He doesn't know what he's doing, and what he can do, you cannot predict. So when I spotted this one, can we go on to the same picture where the trunk is on the tree? He's keeping the trunk on the tree. You want me to tell you the number? The previous picture which you were showing, Arun? This is the picture. So I spotted this, and this is what is happening is this is the black thing which you see near the eye. This is must, and there is a very foul smell. A lot of people can smell. I cannot smell. My wife can smell that there is a must say tusker around. My driver say Nasir, who's in corporate, he can smell that there is a musk elephant. Now what happens is here that you will find this uh, tusker do funny things. He will keep the trunk on a tree. He will rest for maybe half an hour, maybe more than that. Won't do anything. You cannot see any movement. And if you're not have a good experience of the forest, you can invite trouble. So he will just keep holding like this, maybe because the head gets heavier, and he wants to get some kind of as relief by keeping the head load on sharing on the branch. Now the next one, please. This is a young tusker trying to mate with a young female, and she's not ready to mate, and this chase kept on happening, and the light was perfect. You can see each and every fold of this animal, and there is a shine, there is a there is a glow in the picture. And this is again when I had mentioned earlier that you need a perfect light for good pictures of elephants. Next one, please. Now this is a close-up where I'm showing you the slit and the some must coming out, and there's a young female, and it's I was again quite close, and I wanted to have a real big close-up, so I had used again 800 millimeter to get the shot. And this is anyone who's interested in seeing must flowing. You just share this picture, and he gets answer, and then it slowly starts dripping. And this state can be for months together, maybe 2 months, 3 months, maybe longer. And such animals, such tuskers, when they approach a herd, they're very scared. All the mothers will drift away on one side, and you can see the commotion. And he is not welcome there, and they are all concerned his presence. Next one. Wow, this is a very interesting picture, behavior of a musk elephant. This is the same elephant which I had shown you earlier, the trunk on a tree. He started moving. He in fact at one stage charged my jeep, and we were very lucky. We were ready with the our jeep was ready in first gear just to leave the place. And then I started following him because I knew that this fellow is going to go to some water body, and I kept on following him maybe few kilometers, and finally I had parked my jeep well in advance. I knew this is the area because I could see the ground, the condition of the mud. I could guess that the animal might come here. I was stationed with a 600 millimeter, ready for the animal. So the tusker comes there and looks around, find absolutely wonderful atmosphere, no disturbance. And there he goes, he puts his both tusks into the mud, and he's putting pressure. So I would say the flow of the pain and the flow of the master, he can get some relief, or maybe he wants the flow should be more, so he can show his dominance. And golden light, and then after doing this for some time, he started rolling in this mud, and he was golden, as if this is a golden elephant because the color of the mud was gold. Next one, please. Next one. Soetandan. Yes. No. Backwards. You go back. Previous picture. And okay. Now here you see the color of elephant is so magical. Is golden. Is like a bronze. The color is so sparkling. It's so attractive. And mother is already applied a mud coat, and this young female loved splashing the trunk in the water. And this is where a wildlife photographer who has experience, who knows, he will choose a right camera setting. He will use higher speed and all his camera settings. He will make sure that he freezes the splash at the right time. This is again one of my very favorite picture. Next one, please. Yeah, this is like a painting. That's the color of stones, the boulders, and there is a water source, but there's hardly any water. So, what this beautiful dots you see on this herd is red and black dots. This is all fresh mud. They're trying to pull them off, and they are so camouflaged in this atmosphere. And I think it's a very, very dramatic and very interesting picture. Yes, please. Next one. Next one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is another Tusker, and see the difference when you are shooting in boulders. There are no colors. The colors are different. But sometimes you're lucky when you have different shades of green. And I photographed this animal maybe for 2 hours. He will roll on one side and he'll just get up and roll on the other side. You see four legs going almost almost up in the air. And you see the birds, lapwing, they're waiting for any insects flying off with his action, and they will just feed. So is completely soaked in slush. This mud, fine mud. Next one. See, this is what when they're undisturbed, you see this tusker rolling in mud, and uh, seeing an elephant from such an angle is it's so you get so curious what's going on, what's happening with this, and you see the soul, uh, the structure of the soul, and they will roll a couple of times and they'll then stand up, put some mud, and decide which way to go. Next one.
Sir, there is a lack of 5 seconds. So it
Okay.
take 5 seconds to change the slide.
Oh, okay. I can be on the screen. Okay. This is what happens. Sometimes you feel like it's like there's a bomb explosion. Suddenly you see a big cloud of dust coming from the elephant, and they will throw and they'll get lost. You don't see the figure sometimes. And here, because we are watching on a small screen, you can count each and every dust particle and see the different shapes and different stages of the dust. Um, some dust is falling off from the animal. So dust is very, very important as a natural history aspect of elephants. And anyway, there's elephants normally don't sleep in open, as explained. right in the beginning. And when those pictures were shot, a lot of naturalists had no uh, idea or no pictures of elephants sleeping flat on the ground. This is a very unusual thing. I won't say it's unusual because now elephants are more used to of human presence. There are so many vehicles, there are 30, 40 vehicles, and they're forced to change their behavior, which is unfortunate. So this calf decided to rest and sleep, and this was wide open. I was really amused how the elephants are changing their habits. But this is quite rare to see elephant calf sleeping in open. Next one. Now this is how, in fact, if this is how they sleep. You see this young calf sleeping under the tree cover, and mother, she's on guard, and it's early morning. No, it's late evening, and now one thing I don't have a picture to share with you, but I'll tell you when the calves are sleeping in tall grasses, the mothers and aunts will make sure the grass all around the elephant calf is flattened. And why flattened? Because they want to make sure that there is no unwanted reptile or anything should come nearer to the calf. And they'll keep touching, keep smelling, keep touching the body, keep smelling from the mouth. And this is how they judge the health of the calf. And and they are very, very sensitive when the calves are sleeping. In Mudumalai, I have seen the entire herd sleeping on the ground, flat on the ground like humans, and then they'll stand up, they'll change the side, again sleep. But I was filming that time. I have one or two stills, but they're not very good in quality. Next one, please. Now, this is a very strange behavior people have photographed and seen. And I was not very lucky to see her in my many trips, but one of my trips, this is a female. People have seen her carrying her dead calf for days together. And maybe something to do that whenever she will see a monitor lizard, she will kill the monitor lizard and she will keep on her head and keep feeding. And if the monitor lizard falls down, again she'll pick up and she'll keep it on the head. But and there's a shrike just waiting for any flies so she can feed. And this was again the maybe there were just 15 minutes left to reach to Tikala. So I was extremely, extremely lucky to get maybe 4 or 5 shots. She came in open, and then we had to rush back. And it's a very unusual behavior, and I think it's something to do with the calf death. And she probably having some kind of a feeling. And she is not been spotted since many, many years now. Next one. This is one day me and my brother were filming, and I said, I can see a white elephant. He said, what nonsense you're talking? White elephant in Corbett? I took some pictures. I showed him with new technology. You can show the picture instantly. I showed him, I said, see the color of eyes, see the pigment is changing, the color is getting pinkish. And I told him, you better record film. I don't know, something happened and she just moved towards the forest and she just disappeared and we couldn't find her. So there is a say albino touch or the coloration of this female is changing. It's not the color of the mud. It's not anything to do with that. Is the pigment? Is the eye? And this is certainly a record shot, but sometimes you do have to need record shots. Next one. Now this is the art of nature. This is the magic in nature. A lot of people won't click this kind of a picture because it's dark, it's shaded, half of the body you don't see. But I think this is the picture. It's emerging from the forest, and forest is dark, and sun is just falling on the animal. And there is a drama. You can see the tail. You can have details in the ear and the body, and half of the portion is dark. So it's a very dramatic frame. This is again shot with the 800 millimeter. Next one. And this is a Tusker charging our Jeep. And this, I would say, I feel very sad. In many parks, drivers do ask tourists in their Jeep that you would like to see an elephant charging. A lot of tourists say yes, and they do get elephant charge their Jeep. They get fun. Some of them get pictures. But this is the one I'm going to describe this particular animal further. We were very close to the water, where the road is ending. There was a water body, and this animal was there, and I took a lot of pictures in the water, and then it's moved on his right. So I said, "You just wait, the animal may come back, or come back from the grasses from the right-hand side." And he came just behind this tree, and we were not ready. But I had luckily on one camera it's wide angle. Normally I do keep a spare body. And unprovoked, he came out, looked around, and charged. But you have to be very careful with elephants, and you should not take easily that this animal won't do that, he won't charge, or he will just give you a mock charge. Cannot predict animals, especially wild elephants. I won't advise. Next one. Yeah, now here is the problem why animals are getting aggressive. Animals, the elephants are getting so desperate. They are more conflict with humans. This is the kind of environment humans are leaving for them. You have highways, you have constructed cemented bridges, their rivers which were flowing from this area all gone dried up, and they walk miles together for food. And in the process, if they see some human being and they start chasing them, what else you can accept? You can have from the elephant? He's going to charge at you. So, for heaven's sake, we have to think about elephants as we think about tigers all the time, because the tiger gives politicians votes. Elephants don't give. But how long? Elephants do also require some respect. And it's very sad, it's very tragic that for elephants, I would say the governments are doing very little. They are doing whatever they're doing it not enough. Let me put it that way. They are doing what not enough. Next one. Now here you see this tusker near my farm in Hardwar. There are two brothers. In the evening, there's almost fixed time around 5:36. They will come and cross the road and go to Ganges. And there's a whole lot of people, tourists. On this side, you have trucks, bikes, shouting, making a lot of noise, horning. And if they get aggressive, what do you expect from them? We are encroaching on their land, on their migration. They have to go to the water body. They have to go to the river to cool them off. They need so much of water to drink. It's very sad. Sometimes you feel like crying. Of course, my job is to take the photograph first and then think about it. Close your eyes and think for a second what the hell we are doing. Next one, please. Now here you see is all barrenness. Where's the greenery? This is before the Corbett, when the Corbett Kalagarh Dam constructed. This area was a thick forest. But then, submerging this very large area of Corbett, all the trees were deforested. They were all taken away. And this is what is the situation in some parts of Bikaner where there's hardly even the grass. And they're heading for water. Next one. Now see, this is the migration routes. This is how they migrate. And elephants do remember their migration routes for generations. They will follow the same route. In the forest, if I see an elephant, I can predict from where this elephant is going to come out from the road. It's almost calculated, But in South India, there's some NGOs are trying to restore their migration routes, but it's a very tough challenge. It's difficult. Next one, please. No, we have missed out one picture. Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, here you, yeah, fine. Here you see the cheetal herd, and you stacks. There is a velvet, and I was always interested in having a picture where I wanted to see through spotted deer, elephant. But many times I do have pictures of many pictures of spotted deer with elephants trying to chase them. But here, this late evening is all the stacks they form groups during this period, and one lone young tusker just came from the river, from the water body, from the reservoir, and just came at the right place. And you see the jungle mica is just about to land. So it's very artistic photograph. You see the spotted deer but elephants don't like any other animal close by. Next one, please. And these are some magical moments which you see very rarely in your trips. This is late in the evening, sun is about to die, and they're just putting fine dust, and you can see the dust flying how far. It's so fine dust because this is almost a week or every 10 days they'll come to this place and do their dusting. And this time in the evening, they make so many calls. The whole area get uh, get a feeling of echoing, the sound coming from here, hitting that mountain, hitting, going back to that mountain. And this kind of situation takes you uh, thousands of years back, that kind of atmosphere. But it's truly a magical setting. Yes, please. Next one. Now here you see the how they spread the dust is right from here and goes right up to the top. And you see the miner in the foreground, probably very difficult. The two miners, they're just here to feed on insects because of their movement of say dusting. So when they pick up the dust and they throw, so a lot of insects fly with the dust, so they can feed on that. Next one, please. Yeah, here is the magic of eye, and is as we all know, the elephant eye is very small as compared to many animals, but elephants are compensated with a beautiful trunk, which is a magical tool, which we will discuss later on, and putting a duster and the wrinkles all around the so texture on the skin. And this is where sometimes you need a very sharp image. Sometimes even the shaky pictures do create magic or a drama, but this picture has needed that kind of a sharpness. Next one, please. Now here is, to me, it's like a painting. I have added bit of green here or added some. Is this broken tooth tusk standing in a shade, and it took one small green plant and uh, remove the leaves or holding from the leaf side and using as a tool, probably having he wanted to scratch somewhere in the mouth. So, and once you see this image on a large screen, the inside is all very thick mud is stuck. It's so magical once you see in the close. And here you also probably notice that Indian elephant or the Asian elephant has got one finger. You can see the one finger, and in the African elephant we have two fingers. Next one, please. Yeah, this is the most, I would say, it's mysterious, it's magical. The trunk is trunk performs so many things. It can smell, is very powerful. It can pick up almost 170 pounds of weight, and also the sound, it helps in making sound. It's like a hand. It can also touch. It can pick up things, and is breathing, breaking, smelling. searching, and can lift easily 770 pounds. Now, this is a very interesting episode which I saw. The animal in front, the elephant, is a makhna. Makhna are the males without tusk. They won't have tusk. That one is a tusker, single tusk, and both were in a mood to pick up a fight. So the Makhna was closer to my jeep or on a cliff, and he was on the lower side. And you see the Makhna going right and left, right and left, so challenging him, but there was a cliff. And the other fellow was again doing the same thing. He'll go extreme right, he'll come extreme left, and so to get this perspective, again, you don't need a big lens. You don't need a long lens like 800 or 600 mm. I used wide angle to get both of them sharp and also see the backdrop. You see the backdrop behind the grassland, the vegetation, the water body, and they finally had a big fight. So this is again the very rare sight to see Makhna and the tusker together, and then finally picking up the fight. And Makhna was finally defeated. Next one. And this is what happens when the elephant gets older and when they are young, when they pick up fights. You see the condition of the ear on the right hand side is completely torn and is drooping. The ear is falling, and you can see the head. You can see the bone structure. So this is an old animal, beautiful tusker, but it's getting old. Next one. Now this is Anuj. I hope I'm not taking too much of time. Anuj?
Sir, no issues. Go ahead,
No
sir.
issues. Okay. Now this is a photographically is a very powerful picture. The why is so powerful? But there are two elements. A, the elephants, the backdrop. Then you see the tiger. Right hand side is up in the air. He's running away from there. And this drama happened for almost 2.5 hours. But you don't see the tiger. You see the elephants running, making a lot of noise. You can see the dust clouds above the grassland. But where is the tiger? And they were far. They were, and then they were very concerned. They were jittery because of the presence, the smell of the tiger. So they were pretty sure to drive away the tiger. Now here's a situation where you are stuck sometime, whether you to use a long lens. If you're using a long lens, your angle is very limited. So if the tiger comes from an angle where your angle is not there, then you're going to miss the situation. So a situation like this demands you to use a much smaller focal length, so at least you don't miss the shot. And this is exactly what happened, that I could manage to get this, both of them in the right place, right angle. You have tall grasses, you have a bit of sand, and you have the group of elephants at the back. Elephants, if the tigers around, they will not tolerate. They will make a lot of noise. They will throw a lot of dust from their say front leg, make noise. If the tiger moves away, it's fine. Otherwise, they will change their path. They will move away from the tiger because they don't like it. They're scared because of safety of calves. So they don't live. They cannot. They certainly share the environment, but they friendly. They cannot live close by. Next one, please. This is what happens in panic. Where mothers will run away with their calves. They will move away. They'll come in open land if they're in grasslands because you don't know from where the tiger may appear. So, and here, see the position of the mother, the trunk. She's while she's running, she's still trying to get the smell, and the position of the front leg is uh, up, almost up in the air. That gives a lift to the picture. And the calf is really concerned. You see the ear right in front because he's stressed as compared to mother. Next one, please. Yeah, here is on a lighter side of elephants. The elephants are worshipped as Lord Ganesh, and also there's a lot of festivals in South India. This is from Trichur. They have an elephant festival, and all these ornaments they make every year, fresh ones, all the umbrellas and these what do you call yak tail things to drive away the flies and the golden thing which covers their front portion. Next one. This is how they decorate the tuskers. And next one. This is how the elephants are kept, and during this festival, the walls are painted and decorated. Their bodies are well painted, and some Mysore during Mysore Dashera. This is from Mysore, not from Trichur. Next one. This is, see the crowd, how the crowd is involved with this display of elephants. And this is a view from the top to show the involvement of people with elephants and how they, but the way they treat elephants during this festival, I think is not fair. It's very sad affair, and it should be stopped, or the timing has to be changed. This is the late in the evening when it's is almost about to wind up, and in front of the temple, thousands and thousands of people are chanting and clapping, so on and so forth. Now, I would like to share some of my black and white images. It's not that only elephants can be shot only in color. Let's see the black and white one. This is one. See, this is, I love the atmosphere. This man is bowing down to the deity, and the elephant in the backdrop, the elephant near the banyan tree. Such a calm atmosphere. You have a different, you can see the play of light. And so soothing. Somehow the black and white pictures look more close to my heart. I love black and white. Let's see the next one. This is again I love this picture of a tusker. Again, way back in maybe in the 80s, हमने इसका नाम रखा था लाल कान, red deer, and he was a bit of a charging tusker. Whenever you will see any human being, he used to charge on vehicles and even on the riding elephant. So Maoists used to be very, very careful. Next one. See here you see the calf coming out from the water. He's just almost about to fall on his mother's leg. Because only the mother trunk is just trying to balance him, and the the base of the foot. From the base of the foot, if you measure the whole thing so, around after circumference wise, you can predict the height of the animal. It's almost if you multiply the measurement by 5, that will be the height of the elephant. That's a very rough estimation, and it's almost accurate. So if you have a real big footprint, you measure the all along the circle and multiply by 5, you know the size. And you can see the play of wherever is so wet, the color of the skin is darker. Rest of the portion is still dry. And the expression, the hair on the calf and the eyes, I'm sure once you see on a larger screen, you may enjoy more. Next one. See, this is such a I would say it's a poetry. Elephants, when I see elephants, I don't sit. I would say, uh, sit for a second. I always look for something, and once they turn the faces on the other side, and if you're keen, if you're a keen observer, or you have a keen, or you're well experienced, and you see it through the camera, this is what you get: the position of the trunk, the tail, and the hair, and the structure of the skin. It looks so poetic. This and this so lovable, and this is simple picture. This is what I love sometimes, say simplicity in the picture, yet very powerful. Yeah, next one. This is for me for elephant. Elephant normally don't. Their tails are always moving. Sometimes they will just coil, and they will remain like that for some time. I really don't know why they do that. Sometimes they will keep this bend under the base of the tail, and it's a very it's a kind of a it is like a puzzle, uh, to me it is a wonderful artistic frame. This is where the calf get the comfort zone. From both sides, the mother legs touching the body, and he's standing and closing the eyes. He can sleep while standing. He's very young, but he needs a comfort zone. And this is again, you wait. You can see, you can feel the eyes going up, and the calf is limping. He's feeling that you feel that is going to just, going to fall down. But this is at times you see this kind of a situation, and uh, it is quite rare that sometimes you get such beautiful animal. Next one. This is an interesting frame. I was quite far near the bridge, and I kept on looking from far. This tusker is standing and not doing anything. I was curious. I said, okay, let's move. We moved, and when I saw this, we go back to the same picture. I'm still talking, sir. Anuj? Yeah. And he's trying to remove something from the soul which got stuck, and using the finger. And now, at a situation like this, the photographer has to take a quick decision, split of a second, keep the camera setting for the skin, or for the background, or for, say, overall. Here, the camera setting was for the skin, and that's why you see the backdrop is not in sharp and you don't see much detail. So this is a technical side of it, and it's again a very geometrical thing. You see in the center like a heart. So you have different ways to express your photograph. Next one. This is a very dramatic frame. Is a silver river, and elephants are crossing. This is not my picture. It's shot by my son, Yogesh, and I think it's a very beautiful picture. And he's a very fine photographer. He's not a very serious wildlife photographer, but wherever he goes, he does good job. I love this picture anyway. Next one. Yeah, this is sheer poetry. This is sheer poetry, I have to say. See the angle, the way they are standing, covering half of the portion, some portion, and then leave some space, covering the rest of the portion. See the young one, the calf is, and majority except one, all their trunks are bended, drinking water, and it's a very soothing light condition, very soft condition. You can feel the water, you can feel the fineness in the skin of the elephant, and you can also feel that they are totally relaxed. So this kind of situation, again, you have to be very quick in changing your camera setting in order to keep all animals in focus. That's sometimes can be difficult. Next one. This is one of my new and favorite shot. It's a marching of elephants. And normally the big female, or the leader is always a female elephant, and she decides when to go, when to stay, where to go. And this is what is happening. The entire herd is marching, elephant march. You see the position of the tail, the trunks, and the hind legs and front legs is sheer poetry. And such pictures are once in your life. This kind of positioning of animal makes a picture, and the light is super. Now elephants are used for even now when man-eaters are shot. Only elephants, you can go on elephant back, and you can retrieve the tiger. And this is a very old picture. I was doing a story on this man-eating tiger. She had killed 11 people, but finally it was, this is just a picture to show the elephants that sometimes can be very useful. But these days, people are opposing to use animals for a park ride, and I think it's right. If we can do that, that'll be wonderful. Next one, please. This is the magic word of elephants, where you have no business to be there. It's so it's mystical. It's so much is there that they're enjoying. They are lost in their environment. And it's early morning, and there was a foggy day, and they're heading towards the river. And I would say it's magical. Next one. Now here, if they're undisturbed, leave them. They will stay in the evening, especially tuskers, for hours, not for 1 hour, half an hour. They will just roll, sit, won't even splash water once their skin is cold or adjusted with the water temperature. They will sit like a saint. They're meditating in the water. And here again is shooting this kind of picture is you have to change your camera setting. Otherwise everything will go black and you won't get anything. So in order to get the feel of the water color, where the animal is sitting is different, and yet you can see the detail. So this is where the skill of a photographer lies. Okay, any more? Yeah, this is the last picture, and if you leave them undisturbed, you leave them in an atmosphere which is needed, which is required by all of us to leave them in peace and enjoy their land. We have every right to go and enjoy, but don't spoil the environment. Don't be cruel to them. And that's it. I think that's the slides are over. Any more questions? I'm happy to answer.
Yes, any more questions? Sir, there is, can I see the chat box?
I think people got bored and they don't want to have any questions.
Absolutely enjoying.
Okay, anything?
Sir, there is one question. How many cameras do you carry with which lenses attached? As you said, sometimes one has a split second to decide the camera settings to click the right moment.
This normally or ideally, you should have 3 camera bodies. One with a long lens, second with a medium long lens, and the third one with a wide angle. But this decision can be only taken what you are going to shoot, what is your aim, why you are going in the forest, what you want to shoot. But normally 3 camera bodies and few more other lenses I do carry. And but most of the time I'm happy with my long lens. Yes, Sumit? Any question?
So watching these pictures, it means after about okay, somebody is asking, are they using mud as a sunscreen?
Oh yes, certainly. That is the whole purpose, because going into the water when it's hot, they will go submerge, throw a lot of water, roll down in the water. When their skin is cool, they feel relaxed. They come out and skin is still wet, and they throw each and every part, the dust, and dust makes a screen, sunscreen, which helps to keep the body cool, which helps to keep insects away. And of course, the color changes, and that's a delight for a photographer to see in just few minutes the color change, dark gray color to brown, brownish or whatever color of the dust.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I remember one picture of elephant and maybe you or your team on the huge tripod touching the ground. Was that your picture?
Me? Sorry, if you can be more, can you repeat
I
again?
remember one picture while you were shooting, filming, I think, and on an elephant, and there was a huge tripod.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I got your question.
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, we were doing a film in Ghana on tiger. That was the first film on tiger project, and shooting those days is again way back. Shooting tigers from the elephant back is not stable because the elephant keep moving. They have to move. They have to relax, and moving camera, you cannot keep it steady. So the idea slowly is developed to make elephant tripod, and the elephant tripod means the height of the tripod is so high. The elephant which you are using almost same height, and you then we constructed a platform on that, and the cameraman will sit on the tripod and shoot. And once we designed it, so a lot of people copied it, and later on many films were shot with that kind of a tripod, and we named it as elephant tripod. It was very risky at times, but because a tiger could charge on your tripod while sitting, but luckily, if your intentions are clear and you don't want to harm the animal, I think nature is with you all the time.
Thank you very much.
I think it's time to wind up. We had a great session.
I just want to say my last thing.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I have been collecting pictures or shooting pictures to compile a book, a big book, photographic book with, of course, with all the technical data and all my experiences. जो भी जंगल में हुआ है वो सब उसमें बातें लिखने की. Book is ready, but I'm finding very hard to find a publisher because all over the world publishers are interested in tigers, not elephants. And unfortunately, there are a number of books on elephants, but all on African elephants. So I am very keen. I'm still struggling. I'm looking forward someone to come forward and to help me to get this book published. So there is a very strong message which I can spread among masses for conservation. And I would like to thank Nature Walk and Anuj especially and the team for hosting this. I hope it was interesting, interesting session, and I'm always available for Nature Walk to share my experiences. Thank you once again.
Sir, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Sir, on behalf of Nature Walk Charitable Trust, I would again like to thank Rajesh Bedi sir for sparing his valuable time and taking us through his journey with these gentle giants. I also extend my thanks to all the participants. Request to register your emails by sending a test mail on naturewalkoffice@gmail.com. The links of Facebook and Instagram have been pasted in the chat box. Next Sunday at 11 a.m. we have a presentation by Mrs. Nutan Karnik from Center for Ecological Services, Bangalore, on the fascinating world of queenless ants. And to get the details, please log on to our website www.naturewalktrust.org. And I once again thank Rajesh sir for spending a lot of valuable time.
You are welcome. You are always welcome, Anuj.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you.
Yeah. Hello.